what's going on, people? I just had to make this video, man. Too much going on this morning. Haven't even been asleep yet, and just so much is keeping me up. There's so much going on, man, with these trades right here, man. So I just had to make a video. You know what I mean? I was just telling both Spike and James Scoop and Rod, all three of them this morning, like, man, I gotta make this video. You know what I mean? So, you know, I was telling them I was gonna make record the draft analysis, but as time started going on, it started looking unlikely that I was gonna be able to do that. So I'll just end up doing that later this weekend when I have time. The video still isn't done yet anyway, so it's not like it really makes a difference if I do it now or later. But yeah, let's talk about this draft though, man. I don't want to make this video too long because it's just a real quick video to get up for you guys inside the game. Because and my motivation for making it, not just because of trades, but I thought there was the last post that James Scoop made was something that I wanted to talk about, and that's about the morale from actors who are getting traded. So before we get into that, let's recap what happened. Let's start with the trade that was accepted already and finalized by the NITRO officials. That was a trade between RTN and Rod. Basically, Rod set up the trade. Rod traded Sarah Sampaio and Nicole Trumfio in a draft pick to RTN for Denise Richards, Jordana Brewster in a draft pick. Basically, what happened here was Charlie Seen smelled blood. He smelled blood and he just fucking took it. You know, he just took it. He was like, look, I smell it. I'm going to take it. I'm going to take this trade by the balls, and I'm going to kill Simon Cowell right here. Simon Cowell had his chance. Simon Cowell trying to wait around, and sometimes waiting around isn't always the best thing to do. You know, I do apologize for not getting the draft video up a little sooner, since I know a lot of you guys had plans to do these moves after the second round. But sometimes you got to take that into account. Sometimes you just cannot wait. You can't wait, man. Sometimes you just gotta make your move when you see the opportunity, especially when you have the opportunity, because the last thing you want to do is wait on other studios to catch you on competition. You want to get a studio's attention right away. Now SBC did that, but they just didn't have the right pieces. I mean they basically set up such a bad trade that they knew wasn't going to get accepted. I probably should have took their time, maybe by a day. Either a day or just thought about realistically, if they wanted to get Allison Shields or Gabrielle Shields, they should have made a way better deal. Now, going back to this deal, the original deal with SBC and RTN for Denise Richards and Jordana Brewster Services become future owners, they made, SBC just, they bombed it. And Rod told RTN, we got you. We got you. Give us some time to think about it. They thought about it, set it up, and it made the trade. So Sarah Sampaio, someone that I know RTN wanted. And they also get Nicole Trumfio. The bonus here, an Australian coming to the studio. Not a real good draft for Australians this year, so this is a huge pickup for them getting Nicole Trumfio, who has not been established yet in NITRO. This is her opportunity to be established. She's old enough too. She's being executive, so they got another executive on their hands. So they could just keep building that executive chain right now. So she's almost 30. She's someone, probably. I think Rob probably wanted to trade her because Lucy Hale is insinuating the new ICE rules that they got right now. Love relationships. She's in one of those in her private life right now. Got a baby daddy and got a baby at home. So those are things that Rod has sort of been going away from, just like ICE went away from in 2012 or 2013. So that might have been the motivation there for getting rid of Nicole Trumfio. But, not too many studios right now care about that 2013 draft. Rod obviously doesn't. ICE doesn't. With Rod, they've pretty much only got Carly Kloss right now. Once they trade away Danielle Orazio, she's pretty much their only pick surviving from that 2013 draft. They got some other ones in that 2013 class, but they were drafted after the number 25 pick. So we're just talking about the top 25, and I remember Rob mentioned that in one of the comments. So, that is what it is. So, RTN, who won the deal? You know, Charlie Sheen, in his situation, won the deal. I don't think Rob won the deal as a studio, though, because they're not going to get much out of Denise and Jordana with this deal. RTN is going to get a lot more out of Sarah and Nicole. So, and Rod, gave away a draft pick just to make sure that the trade goes through and there's no problems there. So, on the draft ends, it was just basically trading positions. It really wasn't like they were literally giving up more in return for whatever. So, in that aspect, nobody lost or won really. You could say that RTN might have won because they moved up 13 slots from 108 to 95, and they moved up around with that pick. So they get an extra pick in that 5th round. Now, and RTN and Rod loses a pick in the 1st round, but Gaines won the 6th round. So that deal is done. They finally, for RTN, also getting Jordana Brewster and Denise Richards off their hands. Although I don't think Jordana was the biggest complication for him, it was always Denise. It's just that Jordana was going to always tag along with Denise because of this ownership thing, and Jordana's not going to miss a shot out of making a lot of money in the future, becoming a senior owner, and whatever happens after that with whether they retire or do something like that in the future. She was not going to, be in that position where she was going to let that fly past them, but they get, like I said, they get Sarah Sampao, a top 25 star, another one to go along with Tracy Kimmel. So RTN is cooking right now. They're cooking. They're cooking, man. And the thing is, man, when you got Janet Moore and Gia Jolie, and then Daphne Bertram, Tao Akamoto, what you have right now, you have more pieces. And you're still climbing for 2nd place right now, and you're doing a good job of it. Now, let's go to, and also before I close this up, what does it mean for for Rod to trade Sarah Sampao and Nicole Trumfield? Do they lose anything? With Nicole Trumfield, not too much, not much at all. They didn't really use her. She really had no value like that, so they don't really lose much there. That's more of RTN grooming her completely from scratch. So that really wasn't a loss for them. Obviously, Sarah Sampao was a loss, but they knew that going in. They were going to trade her regardless, so they were prepared for this move. Which, to me, when you're prepared for a move, you're not going to hurt as much. It wasn't like they just traded Sarah just because they knew they needed a big name to trade in return, just to get Denise Richards and Jordana Brewster. I really believe that they made this trade knowing that they had to get rid of a top star. So they knew they couldn't really wait around, and they didn't. So kind of kudos to them in a way for recognizing that and making the move. Because a lot of times, trading someone like Sarah Sampao, this was obviously something for Ashley Green that she wanted to do. For Ashley Green, who's RTN's newest CEO, obviously this was a good move for her to make. It was a good move for her to make. This is someone that she drafted last year. This is someone that she's tied to. They're both out of that Jacksonville area, so it fits perfectly for her to reunite with Sarah Sampao. I didn't see a better fit for Sarah Sampao than RTN. Even Ice and SBC weren't that good of fits for Sarah. And like I said, Rod had already drafted people who were set to replace Sarah. Just the first 2 picks alone. And Gigi Hadid and Zania Deli and Haley Baldwin, those girls right there did it. They even Fair Hope. So they were trying to get more girls that were like Sarah Sandpile and Carly Kloss right away. And then they got a problem child that's kind of a mixture of someone who could fit that Sarah Sandpile mold, because Sarah Sandpile was not a problem child, but she was an enforcer as far as she can fight. You know, she's a professional fighter, so she could fight. So they're going to lose a professional fighter here, but they're going to have to gain. There's a lot in the draft. They're going to have to get one somewhere in the draft. So perfect fit for RTN. Like I said, an Australian actor for them is always important. Like I said, this is a weak draft for Australian actors this year, so I think getting someone like Nicole Chomsky is pretty good for them. And then, you know, number two, get Sarah Sandpile. You know, you get someone who was basically, for the longest until Carly Kloss took over her reign in mid-November, was Rod's #1 actor. You know, so we know how important she was, and just really good trade. I think, you know, like I said, Charlie Sheen wins, but I don't think Rod wins as a studio. Charlie Sheen gets his money, but it becomes senior owner, but the studio itself doesn't really get much out of this, you know, so I don't know where they're going with that. Let's get to the Alistair Shields stuff. Yeah, some good stuff going on this morning. Really good stuff. Really good stuff going on. Like I said, if you guys have a chance, read James Scoop's one of his posts in the breaking news article that I told you guys to read. Make sure you read it. He was talking about buyer's remorse and all of that stuff. So he pretty much covered some of the stuff. So I'm just going to kind of just talk about some of the stuff that was in there now. There's two trades that RTN made the first nosedive into trying to get this trade done. Obviously, they were, you know, trying to get Alistair Shields and Gabrielle Shields, and they were going to give, and they also included Kenan Thompson on the deal, which was surprising. I guess they got a use for him. And ICE did put Kenan Thompson on the trade block because he was one of their comedy coordinators, but Mia Serafino took over that spot, so they no longer needed his services. It'll be interesting, man. You know, they got Keenan and Kale over there. I think it'd be an interesting situation if he's able to go to RTN. So, to go to a studio, I think if anybody's rooting for this trade to happen on the outside, or, I mean, like, I'm talking about, like, anybody who's really rooting for this deal to be made is Kenan Thompson. Because Kenan Thompson probably really wants to go to RTN right now. He knows that's a studio that's going to use him. And he knows right now that he's got an executive position locked up if he's able to go there. If this deal is not made, I'm pretty sure RTN will try another way to try to go get, you know, Kenan Thompson. So we'll see what happens with that. Now, continuing on with their trade, they were going to try to get Alistair Shields, Gabrielle Shields, and Kenan Thompson. And then on the flip side, to give ICE, they were going to give ICE 10 picks. Now, we all know, the most important thing to know about ICE right now, they're really mainly interested in the 2016 draft picks this year. That's what they're mainly interested in. They're trying to get as many as possible, because if you get as many as possible, obviously you're in a really good position to basically, if you look at it like this, you're in a supreme position to get a lot of the prospects that you want in this draft. And I know ICE has told me that they're targeting like more than 100 of them. They know they're not going to get 100 unless they're able to somehow get 100 draft picks. ICE already came in with about, let me see how many picks ICE was scheduled to get in this draft. And I'm talking about before the draft started. They were scheduled to get about 60 picks, and that was mainly due to the fact that they own about 4 NITRO licensed competitions, and they're about to own 5 with the Showgirls competition. So they're going to have to stash some of those picks to those competitions. So there's a lot of girls that they want to keep for this, turn pro this year. So getting as many picks as possible leads them to not worry as much about stashing picks. ICE is going to get a personal number on how many they need to stash, and for the NITRO officials, and then they're going to go from there. So with this deal, they've already gotten let me see, how many did they get from SBC in that last deal? They've gotten 2 picks from SBC. They gave up 1, so really they only gained 1 off of SBC. And then RTN was going to give them 10. So they were going to get a little over 70 picks, about 71 picks for the entire draft. So they were looking good. They're getting real close to about grabbing about half of the fucking picks in the draft. There's still some moves that they can make to get even more than that. So we know that's their focus. That was the whole goal going in of trading these girls. They're in the best position to trade these girls. Obviously, will it hurt them a little bit to lose? So yeah, I mean, because you got to groom up these youngsters. So you're going to be losing talent that's already there and some drawing power. But they're in a perfect situation where they can make this move. So why not make it now? Why wait until later when this is already such a big class? Make these moves now. So that's why they're trading girls like Allison Shields and stuff like that. So the deal itself was sweet. Hub Arkish, he's going to have his thoughts on it and what he's hearing from insiders around NITRO and stuff like that. So be on the lookout for that. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. That'll be coming up. That'll be coming up for sure. Now, again, that deal, ICE could have accepted that deal by itself, but there's a concern. There's a couple of concerns that we talked about. The other studios, SBC and Ra, who is heavily interested in the Shield sisters, could make the same exact deal because there's no difference when you're trading draft picks. There's no real difference. Ra and SBC could just match with their team. So we saw that happen where Ra ended up, countering that move that RTN made. And I mean, for Ra, they've always been like a sneaky studio. They've always kind of waited around, kind of see what's going to happen. Maybe they were throwing people off by saying we're going to wait until the end of the second round. But since RTN went for it before the end of the second round, they were like, hey, we're not going to wait either. We're going to go ahead and go in. We see what you're trying to draw up. Obviously, they saw, and this is the thing. You knew that what RTN drew up was pretty good when Rod wants to match exactly what they did, but add more to it to make it stand out. And that was the problem with the original deal, is that it didn't stand out from the competitors. So basically, the difference was going to be if you could trade anybody else, some of your other actors, whether you got some other homegrown actors or some veteran actors that you could trade away, or maybe some people you put on the block already or whatever. Those are going to be, basically what's going to happen here. So this is what Rod ended up kind of countering with on that RCN move. Rod made some big trades right here. Santana Shields, Daniela Orazio, Bear Holt, Carmelo Rose, and they added a pick, so now it's 11 picks to RTN's original 10. For Allison Shields, Gabrielle Shields, and Mia Lasanti in a draft pick. So basically, Rob was asking for the house. They wanted 3 of the top 5 stars. 3 of the top 5 stars, you know what I mean? They wanted 3 of the top 5 stars. And so they were going for it. They said they were going for it. They said this is a now or never move. This is a rare opportunity to make a move like this. They say they're going for it. They don't care who the hell they're giving up. We're going for it. If we get all three of these girls at the same time, who knows what will happen to us? It's going to improve our ratings and everything else. It's going to give us some stars, which is what we really need. Because right now, Ra is in a position where they're really dependent on Carly Kloss and a bunch of rookies. So they got to get some proven talent, like Allison Shields, Gabrielle Shields, and Mia Asante, who could do this. Now, here's where it all gets a little bit tricky at. Nobody knew that they were even, because they didn't put these girls on the block. They did not put Santana Shields on the block, Farrah Holt, or Carmella Rose. They only put Daniela Orazio on the block. So Daniela Orazio, who was the only one they were intending to move before, they were going to move her in the Justin Bieber deal. And since that fell through, that was another one of those SBC deals that fell through. They were trying to get Bridget Malcolm in return, but SBC wanted to wait a little longer. So obviously, Rod's intention, let me move on from that. Let me see if I can hold him for later, because I think, Daniela Orazio, young talent that hasn't gotten established out of that 2013 draft could be good for anybody. So I think Ice has also showed some past interest in her. So it was sweet. Ice has showed interest in Farrah Holt as well. Well, that's sweet. The two that they really didn't show interest in was Santana Shields and Carmella Rose. And we know Carmella Rose, this is a weird move for Rob, because Carmella Rose, it was already reported that she hates Ice, doesn't want to go there because of Molly Ephraim, who bullied her. She said she's, bullied her on the New Girls in Town patch. Who knows how that relationship gone, because on both sides of the table, when it comes to Molly and Carmella, who do you really trust? I mean, I don't think Carmella is the type of person who will stand for anybody bullying her. So it's hard to believe that it was so one-sided. I believe that she was going back and forth with Molly, and them two just couldn't get along. Now, that's what you're offering. You offer the 11 picks. So, sweet deal. Sweet deal. Is it sweet enough for Ice, though? And that's the question. Now, they did separate themselves from the RTN deal, put a little bit more into it. The question is, did they separate it? Did they separate themselves enough from RTN let's just go right into it. Let's just go right into it. For what RTN countered with. RTN edited their trade, and this is what they came up with. They are going. Let's just go over what they want from Ice. Let's go over what they want from Ice first. Allison Shields, we know that. Gabrielle Shields, we know that. Keena Thompson, we know that. Here's the three names that they added. 3 names to it. Mia Asante, Nick Jonas, and Zoe Stamkos. So now you got 6 names that they want. And they don't need any other Ice draft picks. So Ice is good there. If they were concerned about giving up just one tiny draft pick, they don't have to worry about. But I think Ice should be more than okay giving up a draft pick. But these 6 names are enough. These 6 names right here are enough. You know what I mean? That should be enough right there. Here's what RTN is going to give up. Okay? They are now going to add 2 more draft picks. So now it is going to be 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 draft picks. So they're going to top the 11 that Rob was giving up. And they're giving up 2 more names. And one of those names we know they wanted from earlier because they missed out on it during the draft, and that's Hope Wills Alfonso. Hope Wills Alfonso, someone that they wanted. RTA drafted her 3rd overall. So, but remember what I always told you guys. RTN was going to get something sweet in return regardless for Hope, even if they had to get rid of her. Because all of the talk was that she was going to ruin RTN's training camp. You're making a move right in the middle of the draft, so you never have to wonder about that shit. You got a new boss in there. You got people that she's been talking about she was going to break their leg and all this other shit. You don't got to worry about that. And give them a serious injury. Putting them out for the whole season probably. So you don't have to worry about that now. So you're giving Ice someone that they really, really want. And I can tell you right now, I think out of all those first round picks that they missed out on, I think Hope was the one they wanted at the top the most. So obviously it was Janet Moore, but our team's not going to give up Janet Moore, so that one's dead. But the next available choice probably would have been Hope. So to me, this is basically Fair Hope versus Hope Wills Afonso. But we're not done yet. There's another name they threw in there, another name that's been really getting hot lately. Jessica Lowndes has expressed that she is interested in taking Strawberry Shields back. This was a surprise, but everything, the whole Strawberry Shields history with that shit, all of that got thrown out the window as soon as Ice put it out there that they were going to trade Alicia Shields and Gabrielle Shields. Once that happened, the interest for Strawberry Shields came back. Now, they needed some time to think about it, but they've been, every day that went by, they've been like, man, we could do this and that with Strawberry. We could build her up. We do this and that. Because one thing you got to remember about Strawberry, she still hasn't started in NITRO yet, so she's going to be a rookie this season. Even though she came from that 2013 draft class, she's still going to be a rookie. Hasn't been established yet. I think that they were interested in her and Kay. And this probably takes pressure off of Kay and Barbara to have to lead the new Shield sister era at Ice. To try to lead that studio and lead NITRO. You know what I mean? So, I think that's another reason why they wanted Strawberry, because they wanted to throw somebody in there who, at one point, was going to be a big piece. Now, with Strawberry, what's interesting about her, she's been vocal about losing Denise Richards. She wasn't a big fan of what RTN did to Denise Richards. Denise Richards was obviously the one that recruited her to come there. And I think things are a little bit tricky right now because she doesn't trust her new boss, Ashley Green. There's a whole situation with that where Strawberry Shields was looking at going to Rod last year and didn't really like Ashley Green when they were meeting, when you know, Taya Leone and Brooke Shields were meeting with Ashley Green last year. I don't think Strawberry too much liked the things that Ashley Green was going to do for it. So there's a lot of doubt there. So I do think Strawberry Shields was ready to move. Strawberry Shields still hasn't reestablished her relationship with Gabrielle Shields yet. She's cool with, but I mean, at the same time with Allison, you know, they had that whole breakup, but I think she respects Allison enough to throw that under the bridge. If Allison want to come there, throw that under the bridge, you know, getting dropped from the Lizzies and all of that, just throw it under the bridge. It was Gabby who was always the problem, though, for her. So it was going to have to be something where Allison was going to literally have to, you know, sell Gabby on her. Like we can make this work or whatever. But like I told you guys before, I was never really worried about the relationship between those girls. I think it could repair very quickly if she just had to live with them. The more problem for Strawberry Shields is the whole Denise Richards and Ashley Green thing. Just the changing of CEOs, the changing of power at the top. I don't think she was comfortable with what was going on. And I think for Strawberry Shields, she might be a little bit intimidated by Janet Moore and Gia Jolie coming in these other draft picks, because she was going to be the top queen bee. All she had to do was compete with Elsa Haas. Alexandra Moore became a general manager, so she really wasn't competing with Alexandra no more. But the other queen bees were all coming in, and Strawberry Shields probably started feeling like the pressure is on me right now. I don't know how I'm going to do it. That's why I think Strawberry Shields don't mind moving. And I think Jessica Lowndes read this, that Strawberry Shields is probably going to want to be out, you know. And she probably still has her reservations by being in the same studio as someone as powerful as Allison, you know, not getting out of her shadow. So at least at Ice with Kay and Barbara, even though Kay has really gotten herself established, even Barbara did last season, they're still not even on Allison or even Gabby's level, to the point where Strawberry still can't make a name for herself to be the top Shield sister of those three. So there's an opportunity there. So back to the trade though. RTN adds Strawberry Shields. Hope Williams, Alfonso, and the 12 draft picks. It probably just comes down to, you know, does Ice want Santana over Strawberry? I'm not sure about that. Because one of the things about it, Ice never had Strawberry before. There's mystery there. I think they still like the promise that Strawberry brings. I think there's a chance that RTN edges out Rod in that regard. But we don't know for sure. We don't know what, Ice is thinking for sure with that. Hope Wills are possible. We know that. And one of the things that I've been saying was that Mia Lasanti is the key here to the Hope deal. Because that was going to be his own separate deal straight up. But now that Rod countered it like this, putting Mia's name in there, now she's got to be packaged in this deal now. So this makes it where Ice pretty much probably gets the two top people that they want the most in Nitro right now. Strawberry Shields and Hope. It comes down basically to Fairhope and Carmelo Rose. Because I think Ice will still take Carmelo Rose, even though there's that history there, and figure out a way for Molly to get over that shit and for Carmelo to get over Molly. And whatever else drama Carmelo Rose had. So Jessica, I know Carmelo said some bad things about Jessica, but Jessica will still take Carmelo. So Rod is good there, I think, with Carmelo. Trading Carmelo. I think they're good there. Fairhope, who we know they wanted. Fairhope has been red hot, probably even more after she was drafted than before she was drafted. And for Ice, they'll probably love to take someone like Fairhope off Rod's hand, knowing that she could be a big star over there. Hey, now we could get her and bring her back. And you got Daniela Rosio, who you haven't had established yet. So it's a sweeter deal over there, but is it better than what RTN is giving? Because there's something to lose in it for Ice as well. Now Ice obviously comes out the big winner in all of this because they also come out as a loser, just losing Allison Shields and Gabrielle Shields, but it harkens back before to the Sarah Senpal thing. When you know you're giving up somebody and you know you're going to be drafted anyways to replace them, you're not really looking at it as a loss. I know Ice isn't making this trade if they really thought losing Allison, Mia, and Gabby was going to be a huge loss to them. They made this trade because they know they could replace them. When you know you can replace somebody, that's what you do. RTN's doing the same thing with Strawberry and with Hope. They know they got some really huge prospects right here, but look what they're getting in return. So you don't worry about that. The loss here for Ice is not even that. The loss here for Ice could be the fact that if they don't, to me, the RTN deal is the one that they don't want to wait on. Because if Strawberry and Hope are still your two top targets, you need to go make that trade right now. You also have this other deal with Rod, but you also know that Rod wants some of your other girls. So you could still keep these girls for leverage for those other deals. You actually kind of own Rod right now. You're owning Rod right now. With RTN, they want what you have in Allison and Gabby and Mia, but in a way, it's kind of more even because you still have something that you really want. That you really, really want right now. So they still kind of hold a card over you, a card or two over you. So it's just a matter of what's the right move for you. Do you go with the Rod deal? You get Santana Shields, Daniela Orazio, Fairhope, Carmelo Rose right now in 11 draft picks? Or do you go with Strawberry Shields, Hope, and 12 draft picks? Hard decision for Ice, but they're going to have to make it. They're going to have to make it. So we'll see what happens with that because SBC still hasn't made their deal yet. So we're going to see what SBC brings. They're a wild card in this. I'm making this video before they probably make their move later tonight. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But everyone's going to come out a winner and probably a loser in some form or fashion with this deal, you know. But it's just a matter of how big of a winner are you coming out of this deal. Because whoever makes the deal, you got to get something in return that you're going to really want. I think that for ICE right now, when I look at both deals, we'll start with RTN real quick, and then we're going to get close to the end of the video. When you look at RTN, you got Strawberry Shields. Like I said before, this is someone that you can use. If Strawberry, who had all of that potential from that 2013 draft, if you can actually execute it, you know, hey, Stephen A. Smith ain't going to be happy about this, by the way, that Strawberry Shields is going back to ICE, because he's a little bit of an ICE fanboy, and he's not going to be happy about that, her coming back. He's going to have to actually deal with Strawberry Shields now, if this trade happens. But you have Strawberry Shields, someone who's got a lot of potential, and right away between her and Kay and Barbara, especially her and Kay, now you have a good problem. Who's going to top who? And there's another thing, building trade value, because I know ICE also has a plan to trade more people. Very possibly some of those 2016 picks. I don't know where their stance is. I think those are long-term prospects that they have from 2016. But I think that since they have so many picks, they're going to have room to trade some. So is it a possibility that they could build up Strawberry this year, or even the 2018 draft, build her up and try to trade her? Here's the problem, though. Strawberry could become a free agent, and her contract could come up. So she could leave you dry and go back to RTN or Rod or SBC. But let's just focus on RTN. She could leave you out to hang to dry right now. So ICE needs to be a little bit wary of that. Make sure whatever you're doing with Strawberry this year, it better be good. Because there's a chance if the contract comes up, she will stay with you, which means the main goal right now for ICE is to make sure Strawberry is in your control at the end of the day. Make sure Strawberry is in your control. Because you're going to want to trade her for one of those. Because that 2017 draft, it will be good also. So you're definitely going to want to, get a look at that. There's no doubt about that. Hope Wills Alfonso. She completes the scary 5. An extra first round pick, basically. You're getting an extra first round pick. You know what I'm saying? You're getting an extra first round pick. You're getting someone that you targeted before. You bring in more trouble, obviously. This is the bad thing about this. You bring in more trouble. But you get someone that's really talented and someone that you had your target on. And you made a mistake anyways by not drafting her first or second. So this RTN basically giving you a chance to make up for that. So there's a lot, and you're getting 12 draft picks. 12 very good draft picks. You're getting how many are you getting in the third round? You're getting 2 in the third round, 2 in the fourth, and 1 in the fifth, and you're getting a lot of later ones. So if you want to use these to stash those girls in those competitions, there you go. Because you got the number 1, you got the 10th round, 190th pick, and a 194th pick. Those picks right there will be very valuable as far as keeping girls for those competitions. So they gave you a lot here. Now with Rod, Santana Shields. So basically, if you're more interested in Santana, if you're going to be more interested in Santana, here you go. Daniela Orozio. Here you go. Got someone from 2013. Even though they really don't care about the 2013 picks, it's still someone that maybe they can use as a trade bait for the future if they don't really care about Daniela Orazio like that. Poor girl, Daniela Orazio, by the way, just cannot get anybody to care about her. You know? I mean, she's just been traded around before her national career even starts. I mean, it did start, though, because she was on My Gay Neighbors, and I think Rod was a little disappointed by those ratings, and they were kind of, I won't say done with Daniela after that, but they were not encouraged like they were with Carly Kloss. I think that's what it really came down to, why they're trading her so badly. Farrah Holt and Carmelo Rose, and those obviously dead picks that you definitely want for sure. Now, what I really wanted to touch on was what James Scoop was talking about, and that was about morale. Because one thing that you got to be careful of when you're trading these picks, and then you end up having to keep them for a little bit, is that, let's just say we get in the training camp, they see that these girls, right? I mean, Danielle Rossi, I won't worry about her too much, but the other three, I definitely will start worried about them. Particularly Santana and Carmella. Santana, a former problem child. The way I see it, once a bad girl, always a bad girl, in my opinion. No matter how much they mature, they can always slide to their old ways. Always. This might be one of those situations. Then you got Carmella Rose. We know she's a problem right now. And Lucy Hale, I was reading the James Scoop thing about how Lucy Hale was going to handle Carmella. The main thing I took from was that she was going to try to gain her trust, build a relationship, but gain her trust. You have to gain trust with problem children. Problem children know how to read people really well. People who play them. Now she's going to look at you, Lucy Hale, like you're a fucking joke. You're trying to trade me. And you're trying to trade me to a studio I really don't want to fucking go to. Farrah Holt, I thought you believed in me. Even though she's not a problem child, there could be a morale issue for her, some confidence problems starting the season. That's a bad situation. And then Santana Shields. Oh, I thought I was the top Shields sister. Now you're trying to bring in Allison and fucking Gabby. And you're trading me away. You're trading me away. You got me and Nikki Shields because we were going to be your two Shield sisters. Now you're bringing them in and you're going to trade me away. You're going to trade me right back to ice, right back where I started from. This is bad. And see, the difference is for RTN, like James Scoop touched up on, they knew they were trading Hope. That was already in the plans. They were probably ready to go into training camp without Hope. So there was no loss there. They know they don't have to worry about fucking Hope. As long as they trade her away before training camp opens, they're good. The girls you have, you're probably going to end up keeping for a little bit. And all RTN has to do with Strawberry Shields is make sure they trade her now in another deal. For Ice, Ice knew this was the case. Ice said, look, whoever we decide to trade, we got to put them on the block. Put them on the block now. Let them know they're out of here. Mia knew she was out of here. Allison and Gabby knew they were out of here. Nick Jonas knew he was out of here. Kenan Thompson knew he was out of here. And Zoe Samkos just learned recently she's out of here. All those girls know they're out of here. Rob put girls that weren't even on the trade block on here. And he took the risk, if he lost his trade, having morale issues. And I'm telling you right now, this completely changes everything for Carmella Rose. She could be a huge fucking problem now. Rob almost, you can say now, I don't know what Lucy Hale's position on it now is. You could kind of say in a little bit here, is there a possibility, folks, Is there a possibility? You let me know. Is there a possibility that Ra has just lost Carmella Rose? Even if you keep her, will she even show up to work? How's her attendance problems going to be this season? Did you just lose all trust with Carmella Rose? Do you have to trade her now? Santana Shields, same thing. Someone you was doing pretty well with the season before helped her stay in the top 50 or top 40. Now he might have to trade her. Now, Farrah Hope might be the one that might be able to get over this because she's not a problem child. She might be able to get over this a little bit quicker. Danielle Razio, you're planning on trading her anyway, so you already put on the block. So you're good with that one. Farrah Hope might have some more confidence drain, though. Might be a little bit mentally weak from this. I don't know, man. This is a risk because basically what Rod did, they put all of their eggs into this one basket right here. You have to be sure you're getting Alice Shields and Gabrielle Shields and Mia Asante. You have to be sure about that. And if you miss out on this, you're gonna almost have to trade them for Barbara Palvin, Kyla Ray, Emily Didonato, Zoe Stamkos, if she's still out. Well, now RTN has pretty much grasped Zoe Stamkos. And for Rod, you didn't even ask for Zoe Stamkos. That was someone who you wanted. She's gonna be off the market. So there's a lot of these type of trades. And then the thing that I told I don't know if it was James Cooper or RTN privately, I told one of them two that Sarah Sandpile not going in the Allison deal might have killed it altogether. Because that would have been someone who Ice would have highly considered. She was made at a Denise Richards and Jordan and Rooster deal. So right now, I don't know. I still don't know who's going to get the deal. I still got to see who's SBC's getting. I think Rod is still in the ball game here. They can accept it. We'll see what Ice wants to do. It's going to be interesting. I'm going to leave a wrinkle though to end this video. And I told Ice this. So when Ice comes on later, whenever it is, he's going to read this. I told Ice, do not announce your decision on this site. Because this trade is going to be announced in the next draft video. Ice is going to tell me privately who he's going with, and I'm going to announce it in the next draft video. It's too big. It's too big. It's too big of an announcement. I want to end the draft video. We're gonna announce it there. And then as soon as everyone watches the draft video, Ice can post it on there that whoever deal he accepted, I'm gonna announce it on here, and I'm gonna finalize it after that. So that trade will be announced on the video. Now when Ice comes in later, they're gonna see everything. They might respond with their executives, but they are not going to make a decision on the site. They will make it in the draft video. Okay? I just thought about that before I came on here and recorded this video. I said, you know what? Let's announce this in the draft video. Going to be huge, man. It's even more bigger now because Mia Lasante's name is there. She was the second or the third big trade acquisition. Now it's going to be Barbara Palvin and everyone else behind her. You know? So, I mean, Barbara Palvin and Kyla Ray. So, going to be huge, man. Just going to be huge. thank you guys. This is entertaining. This is one of the most entertaining mornings I've ever had here in Nitro, man. Just so much going on. Loving the activity, man. Going to work on that draft video for y'all all through the weekend. I might need to work on it on Monday. I'm not sure, but we're getting closer to the end. I'm getting closer to the end, but we should have everything down. Okay, guys. Thank you for listening in. Peace out. And if I don't talk to you before Sunday, enjoy the Super Bowl, everybody.
Mandy, I thought that was you.
Fuck you doing here?
Re-enrolling. So, I know you're seeing Liv, but like I told him, I think it's great.
You talked to Liv?
I came by last Tuesday to say hi. I come inside. Liv didn't want me inside because, you know, didn't want to upset you.
Why would I be upset?
Oh, you wouldn't? Forget it. Just meant I'm happy for you guys.